ceiling is right now. So if I'm a Mariners fan, I'm hoping there's a couple of deals coming pretty soon.
Well, so that's why you're here. Tell us about these Blue Jays and what is going to help them make a decision. Are they in? Are they out? And if they're out, how out could they be?
Right. Good questions. My guess is they're out. If they win today and then go sweep Arizona and come out of the break and sweep Detroit, but they haven't shown the ability to do that. They haven't been a get-on-a-run team all year. They just haven't been very good. They haven't hit very much. Their bullpen has been decimated by either injuries or underperformance. So the rotation is good. The defense is good, but overall, they're just not a great team. I think they're 8 games under 500, if I'm not mistaken, and they're like 8.5, 9, or something like that out of the wild card spot. So my guess is they're out, and they're just waiting until after the draft over the All-Star break, and then they can throw their resources into the trade deadline. My guess is they will trade guys who are on expiring contracts, and we can get into those names in a second, but I heard you mention Vladdy off the top. So Guerrero's got 1 more year on his deal. I don't think they're going to trade Guerrero. The ownership just renovated the entire ballpark over the last 2 years. $400 million. Ticket prices went up. I don't think this is a good time or the right time for them to do a deep rebuild. I think they'll trade away the expiring contract guys and then try to reboot and get after it again next year.
Well, that's not music to anyone's ears out here in Seattle.
Now we actually have to go. I mean, jeez.
Yeah, that's a bummer. But
listen. I could be wrong, but Guerrero. I still think they're going to try to sign him to a long-term deal, and I don't think now is the time. And obviously, he would be a great fit with Seattle and a bunch of other teams. But I think I just don't see it happening. The guys who might be available, who are on the last years of their deal, Yusei Kikuchi, who you guys know well, and is coming off just I tell you, he's a different guy. I'm telling you, Brock, he is a different guy than he used to be. Look at his last start. He struck out 13 guys in 7 innings in his last start. He's a much better pitcher now than he was, and it's taken a lot of work to get him there. Danny Jansen, a catcher, a couple of relievers, Yimi Garcia, assuming he comes off the IL, and Trevor Richards, Justin Turner, and Kevin Kiermaier. Those are the 6 guys that I think are going to be dealt. So
Bo Bichette kind of fits in Dan Shulman, the voice of the Blue Jays, and just the voice of sports. If you want someone to narrate your life, it'd be pretty good. Bo Bichette in that same boat as Vlad then?
I believe so. Bo's also got 1 more year on his deal, same as Guerrero. So I don't think they're going to trade him. The other issue with Bo, there are 2 issues. One, he is not having a good year. And if you look at his numbers, it's, a 180 from normal Bo Bichette. Normal Bo Bichette hits 300 and leads the league in hits. This year's Bo Bichette is hitting in the 220s, and he's only got 4 homers. And nobody that I know can figure out why. Also, he was on the IL with like a minor calf issue. He came off, I think, just before the Blue Jays got to Seattle last week, and he aggravated it last night. And we don't know how serious yet. He went for an MRI. So, there's a health question too. But again, if they were to trade one of those 2 guys, I think it would be Bichette, but I think it's unlikely that they trade either one.
Is there a working theory? I know you said no one seems to really know, but does anyone have a working theory on what the heck has happened with him this year?
Nobody I know. The hitting coaches are working 24/7 to try to fix it. Like, this is a guy from the second he got to the big leagues as a 21-year-old in 2019, just raked. Just line drives all over the place. Not a big guy, 6 foot, 185, 190 maybe, and just raked from day one and never got going this year. I think there was maybe like 1 10-day stretch back a couple of months ago where he kind of looked like himself, but otherwise, no. His defense has been fine. His defense has been the same as it always is, and until the calf thing, which was just a couple of weeks ago, as far as we know, he was healthy. But they've hit him 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. They've moved him up and down the lineup. They've tried to put the hot guys up top, then put the veteran guys up top. We'll protect this guy with that guy. We'll protect that guy with this guy, and it's been tough. Guerrero didn't get going early. Guerrero had a bad April. George Springer didn't get going until about 2.5 weeks ago. He was down near the bottom in every category in the major leagues. And now for the past 16 games, he's literally the hottest hitter in baseball. It's just, baseball is cruel and crazy. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Would George be available?
Yeah.
possibly. I mean, he's got 2 more years on his deal, and it's at like $24 million a season. So he's in year 4 of a 6-year deal. Yeah, I think I think they'd listen on that, but I would imagine the Blue Jays would have to eat a lot of the money too, and I don't know about their willingness to do that. The other thing is they have to put a team on the field too. So this year and next year, and they've already got like 4 or 5 guys from AAA who are up, and more are coming, and there just aren't that. There's only so many bodies in the minors that look like they might be able to do something here, but. I'm just guessing. Springer's name hasn't come up, I think, because of the money left on his deal. And again, until 2.5 weeks ago, like he was ice cold. But I think they'd listen, but it falls into the highly unlikely category for me.